to the SuSu Room, where I get to spill the tea about what's going on with our young GWBs. That's our generational wealth builders. But today, I know you've been wondering how my husband and I was able to pay off $7,000 in debt during the pandemic. And then we came right back around and paid another $39,000 in debt in just the last 8 months. That's a total of over $45,000. You know? So let's get right to it. First, let me take a minute to properly welcome you to the SuSu Room. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, I'm TaQuita Hogan-Claiborne. I'm an attorney, a legal instructor, an advocate, and financial consultant, and an entrepreneur. So don't be shy. Come on into the room. Take a seat. Get comfortable. And take a sip. As I spill the tea. Now back to the details about how my husband and I paid off this 45 plus $1,000. See, I recalled maybe around 2019, this was pre-pandemic, feeling a bit stressed about our financial situation. Now, yes, we have a few streams of income, but at this time, we were not managing our money properly. We're talking about your typical adulting responsibilities. Yes, we have a mortgage. We have a couple of car notes. We have plenty of credit card bills. We both have businesses, which come along with business expenses. We have student loans, and we got two kids. One was already in college, and the other one was making preparations to go to college in just a couple of years. So we had all these additional expenses to deal with as well. So things got a little tight. A little tight. I was really feeling the pressure. Since I'm the one that mostly managed our finances, I just couldn't figure out how to stay ahead of everything. But I had started feeling the urge that I really need to fix it or it was going to get out of control. So during this time, again around 2019, I had a scheduled appointment, a consultation with a new estate planning client. And it actually turned out to be a whole family. Now, with my 20 plus years of experience in wills, probate, and estate planning, I have had plenty of opportunities to assist clients in all types of estates. But this particular family, they had an advanced financial portfolio that extended back for several generations. I'm describing a family that had done an excellent job at preserving their family wealth and their property. We're talking about for almost 90 years. It was impressive. I'm telling you, it was impressive. During our multiple meetings, this family, they pushed and they started inquiring about my personal estate and my personal financial well-being. Now, of course, initially, I refused to share anything with them. I was not going to give them any details. But after about several weeks of working together, y'all, we ended up working out a mutual agreement where this is what happened. They started showing me and teaching me about how they got their family wealth and how they built it up and started giving me tips and strategies and telling me how I can do the same for my family. Now, as their new attorney, I would draft their legal documents and I would take the time to explain to them how I was going to assist them with protecting their property and their wealth. Now, listen, with this type of portfolio that they had, of course, we know this was not their first rodeo with dealing with attorneys, but it was the first time they was going to be working with me, and they recognized real quick that my approach was a little different. Yes, I'm going to be professional, but also I'm a little personable. Anywho, the relationship sparked a fire in me. Look, I'm telling y'all, I got real hungry about this wealth knowledge. So step one, get educated. By the time the pandemic hit, I was already enrolled in Lynn Richardson's online wealth university. We're talking about 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and even today for 2023. I'm locked in. I'm telling you, I'm locked in. Not only with Lynn Richardson, but I also read Dave Ramsey, worked through his workbook, read Chris Hogan. We talking about Tony Robbins, Dennis Kimbrough, Rachel Rogers, Anthony O'Neill. Hope you heard of Ramit Sethi, Tiffany Aliche, the Budgetnista. I'm following podcasts like Brown Ambition, Rich and Regular, Black and Brown, Makes Green, even the Millionaire Mindset. So many more. I can't even tell you how many more. But what you need to understand, this ain't a new process for me. You see, I have been teaching legal courses for over 16 years, and I've created almost 10 different courses. And one of the things I have always done before creating any course is taking the time to study multiple sources, multiple textbooks, a minimum of 4 to 5 per course before I even create the course. So step 2, take action. Here's the most important fact in how my husband and I paid off all of this debt. I know you're saying, girl, can you just tell me what it is? Come on, what is it? Here it is. What we learn, we implement. What we learn, we implement it. And one of the plans we use is that 10, 10, 30, 50 budget money plan. Wait a minute. You ain't never heard of the 10, 10, 30, 50 money plan? What about the 50, 30, 20? You know what? I got you. Don't worry about it. I told you, come on in here and relax. And, just go and take a sip, because I'm about to break it down for you. But for simplicity, let's say you bring home about $5,000 a month. All right? So your take home is $5,000 a month. I'm going to show you just how to set up your money schedule with that $5,000. You ready? Because I'm going to show you how you're going to live by the 10, 10, 30, 50 money plan. Or you can call it the 10, 30, 60. Or maybe you heard of the 50, 30, 20 money plan. It doesn't matter. The key is for you to find whatever money plan that fits your budget. All right, so brace yourself. Here we go to the basics. Every time you receive your money, you need to immediately divide it into 3 to 4 categories and distribute that money according to the percentages. When I say immediately, I mean automate it. Go online, log into your employment HR account, and change your direct deposit to be divided according to these percentages. And you're going to go ahead and go into your bank account. If you don't want to go in your HR account and change your direct deposit, then get into your bank account. Log in to your bank account and set up the transfer percentage allocations. So what you need to know, what are these percentage allocations? The first one, 10% or 20%, 10 to 20%. Where it's going? It's going to you. You need to put this money in a savings immediately. What did I say about immediately? Automate it to go into your savings immediately. Now, I know you heard of this before. Pay yourself first. My dad will always say, baby, if you pay yourself first, you will never be broke because you'll always have money in the reserve. Now, let me give you some statistics. Look at my little notes right here. According to Bank Rates Annual Emergency Fund report, it states right here that almost half of all Americans report having less than $1,000 in savings. And got another fact for you. Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. adults say they have no emergency fund. But those numbers do not have to include you. You can be in the percentage that's choose to do different if you would just pay yourself first. Now, maybe later in another video or in my online course that's coming soon, I will explain to you why we're saving this 10 to 20% and what we're going to do with it. Now, if you're a young GWB, we have already covered this. Recall that I demonstrated this whole process to you in my Kita's Moolah Management newsletter. All you got to do is go pull out your newsletter and review it. Now, if you're not currently a young GWB yet, no, you ain't got to fret either. As I stated, I'm going to guide you step by step in an upcoming video here in the SuSu Room or later on in my online course that we're going to be launching real soon. But for now, for this video and for the sake of time, we're going to move on to the next category. Category number 2, 10%. Where does this go? 10%. Where does this 10% go? It's going to go to a charity, or you're going to use it as your tithing to your local place of worship. Okay? Or you might say that 10% is going to be for your investments. Or it might be you're going to eliminate this category altogether and add that 10% into another category. That's why we say hints. 10, 30, 60 or 50, 30, 20 plan versus a 10, 10, 30, 50 plan, right? Next category, category number 3, 30%. This is for your non-essential, incidental, personal wants. What are we talking about? Y'all know, dining out, buying gifts, going shopping for clothing, shoes, getting those handbags, out for the brunches, all your entertainment, all your discretionary spending, hair salon, nail salon, your facials, your massages. These are all your non-essential discretionary expenses. They're there to what? Enhance our lifestyle. But listen, my advisors recommended that we set up a separate bank account just for this category. And that's what we teach our young GWBs. Again, let me talk to you for a minute. I want you to come on and pull in. Once you set up that bank account, if you don't have any money in that separate account, then you don't have any to spend on your wants and your discretionary spending. When it's gone, it's gone. And here's another fast track tip. It's going to come real quick, so you better keep up. Stop spending your money for your wants and your non-essentials out of your bill money account immediately. Did you catch that? Because I'm moving on to category number 4. That's for your bills. Absolute necessities. Your 4-corner rule category. Like in contract law, when we have to base our legal interpretation on just what is written inside of a contract or a document and not be able to consider any outside sources like testimonials and etc. In the money management plan, it's the same way. There's 4 corners you got to consider. You got to consider like what? Your housing, your transportation, your basic groceries, and of course your fixed utilities and expenses. This money is going to have to go into your main checking account to pay your bills. Its main purpose is just going to be there to make sure that you can always cover and stay within your 4 corners. Again, this account needs to be separate. It needs to be a separate checking account from your other incidental, non-essential, discretionary checking account. We're talking about 2 different banks with 2 different accounts. Okay? So what you think? You want to give this 10, 10, 30, 50 money plan a try? Well, I'm going to give you a few more tips, just a few more tips that you can take so you can go ahead and get started today. We're going to call these Kita's Know Thy Money tips. Tip number 1, you need to go gather up your financial records. Go get your records. Gather them up, at least the last 3 months or so of like your bank statements, your credit card statements, your pay stubs, your receipts, and all your bills. Gather them up. And then you're going to move on to tip number 2. Get those statements. Sit down and calculate your monthly income. Go through the statements. Figure out exactly how much money you are bringing in each month. We're talking about the net. You already know the gross. Figure out the net. What you got left over after the taxes are taken out. Tip 3, set up your savings target. Think about it. You can start low and aim high. Because if you don't feel that it's realistic for you to put 10 to 20% into a savings right now, start at 1%. Then you work your way up. But the point is, get started. Tip 4, calculate your essential monthly expenses. Sit down, take a closer look at those statements, and I'm going to need you to track your expenses. Actually, you know what? Go ahead right now. Start writing them down. Make a list of all your monthly essentials and fixed expenses. You know how much your rent is or your mortgage. Write down your utilities, your groceries, your insurance payment, your credit cards, right? You need a journal to track these expenses. I know there's apps. We'll get to the apps and how to do this with the apps. We'll talk about that later. But right now, you need to know thy numbers. So write them down. But I got you. I got you. All you need to do is click in the link in this video and grab my journal I created just for you. Then figure out how much your essentials are absorbing your take-home income each month. Figure it out. Is it more than 50 to 60%? If so, what is that percentage? Know thy money. Again, to my young GWBs, you know you can go right ahead and pull out your Keto's Moolah Management newsletter and review the ways we talked about how to reduce any of these month expenses. We covered this already. My tip number 5, you need to put together your own money plan. Because after this, what you're going to do, you're going to add up all your savings and your essentials, and what is left over can be allocated towards your non-essential discretionary spending. That's your wants. And also, don't forget to calculate your charity or your tithings and even your investments. Because like I just said, remember, this is your plan. So you can play around with the percentages and come up with a workable plan just for you and your budget. Now, what we learned today. I hope you learned about the 10-10-30-50 money plan. It's this simple budget money plan my husband and I learned and implemented to help us pay off the $45,000 plus of debt. And we now live by 10% in savings, 10% to charity, tithing, or investment, 30% for our discretionary spending, and 50% to cover our bills within our 4 corners: our housing, transportation, basic groceries, utilities, and fixed expenses. They're covered. With these categories on autopilot, the money plan does the work and allocates your money for you. How? Automatically. I believe, I really do, with discipline and time, you too can pay down your debt. So I hope this information assists you and sparks a little fire for you to take a step. At least take step 1 and download and review my sample budget plan in the comment section below. Then take step number 2 and take action in finding out your own but solid money plan today. Well, that's a wrap. Because that's all the tea I'm going to spill today. Hey, if you like my video though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But I do thank you for joining me. Till next time, I'm going to see you in the next video.